The arrival. Dr. Kirill Renatus had arrived on Earth under the guise of diplomacy, convinced that humanity was a primitive race. He believed his mission would be straightforward, a mere formality. Yet, after just 7 days among humans, Renatus now realized how deeply he had underestimated them. As Xerian forces retreated, burning in the aftermath of their failed invasion, Renatus knew his report would determine his species' fate. If he failed to capture the true strength of humanity, Earth would crush his home planet without mercy. The second day began with the harsh light filling the conference room. The clock read early morning when Dr. Renatus entered, his hair neat and suit crisp. He sat among the human political officers who were crowded around a large round table cluttered with screens and coffee mugs. Their faces showed experience and resolve. A cropped-haired woman at the table's head tapped for silence. "Colonization ethics first," she said. "We must balance expansion and respect." Renatus readied his data pad, aiming to observe without bias. But as the debate unfolded, staying neutral proved challenging. One officer urged humanity's right to keep living and growing, while another argued for leaving alien worlds intact. Voices rose and fell, each wanting justice yet disagreeing on the approach. The debate. Abruptly, Commander Pierce left the room. Renatus watched him go, sensing a shift in the atmosphere. Soon, the debate stopped entirely, and a murmur spread through the room. That name, whispered with a mix of reverence and apprehension, signaled a transition from talk to action. Renatus hurried after Pierce, whose long strides carried him toward the Military Readiness Center. Alerts blared red, and officers scrambled. Renatus observed their unity in crisis with clinical interest, noting how humans united when threatened, unlike the detached debates he had witnessed moments before. The unity. A lieutenant with steady eyes approached. "Let me show you our defenses," she said. Together, they walked through steel corridors to a balcony overlooking a grid of laser turrets and shields working in complex concert. Renatus studied the technology, each part showcasing human skill and ingenuity. Evening came, and the frenzy ebbed. In the mess hall, Renatus sat with off-duty soldiers and crew. Nearby, a burly sergeant told of barely escaping a collapsing star, his eyes shining with the memory. Heads nodded, sharing the silent bond of survival. Renatus's data pad overflowed with notes. Stories weave the human spirit, inspire unity. These weren't just words, they were sinews binding humanity's might and grit. The celebration. The day ended not in silence, but with connections. The rec hall was packed on day 3, the basketball court buzzing with players running and passing with intensity. They chased, jumped, and sprinted, the ball thudding as they fought to score. The crowd cheered and stomped with each basket, their pride fierce. When their team won, the crowd flooded the court to congratulate them. "Walker wants you at the party, Doc," said a crewmate, pulling Renatus's sleeve. The post-game party assaulted Renatus's senses. The smells of spiced meat and sugary dough filled the hall. He tasted a bite, the flavor bursting intense and new. Walker stood beside him, smiling as she spoke of her first spaceflight, her dreams and achievements. Her words stirred something in Renatus. These people valued personal triumphs as much as group ones. The dance. The music started, bodies swaying to the beat pulsing through the deck. Dancing began, a blur of motion and laughter. Renatus's composure slipped as an inebriated crewmate grabbed his hands and pulled him into the dance. Awkward but curious, he moved to their rhythm before retreating to the side to take notes. Their dances showed a freedom and openness he didn't expect. "Human passion drives their creativity," he wrote. "Their joy fuels progress unlike anything my people know." Observing in silence, he felt the unguarded humanity surrounding him, drawing him into its depths. He left the celebration warmed by their vibrant culture, determined to capture their essence in his reports. On the front lines, Day 4 found Renatus in space, his suit sealed tight with a firm click, trapping him in a bubble amidst the empty void. He floated from the airlock with the maintenance crew, tools strapped on against the absence of gravity. Earth filled the backdrop, greens and blues wrapped in a thin layer of sky. Clutching a rope, he watched the humans work. Jin, with bright streaks of paint on her helmet, replaced a panel with her drill whirring fast. Luca, marked by a bright tape strip across his suit, patched a hole quick and smooth. "You're up, Doc," Jin said, motioning to a loose plate. "Tighten those bolts before this ship dances away." The tools felt new in Renatus's hands, yet easy to use. They hummed with the ship's metal skin as he spun the bolts in place, securing the panel. Luca glanced over with a simple nod, a human sign of respect. The radio crackled, Sarah's voice cutting in. "Engineering needs me. Take the lead, Renatus." Not asking, but trusting. Then Pierce's voice followed, his tone even. "Status on repairs." "All good, Commander," Luca replied. "The new guy's got the knack." Silence, then Pierce's calm response. "Copy. Good work, team." The bond. Inside, helmets off, pulses slowed. From the foggy visors, they laughed, tools put away, suits hung up. A pat, a look, a nod. Renatus had joined the human fold, finally on the inside. Day 5, the med bay stood lifeless against the past day's chaos. Dr. Cole Renatus entered, the grey screens lining the walls showing vitals of unknown species on sleek, humming beds. A young alien lay on a table, scales shimmering bright, its 4 eyes blinking, claws clutching a toy. A medic called for a scanner, steady hands fitting human tools to the small alien's body. The healing. Renatus watched, datapad in hand, noting their swift, assured movements. Sarah appeared beside him. "Anaphylactic shock," she said. "We've seen it before in their kind. Modified the epinephrine. They're responding." Renatus clicked rapid notes, impressed by their adaptiveness and resourcefulness. The child's breathing eased. The staff smiled in brief relief. "Incredible," Renatus murmured, meeting Sarah's gaze with silent thanks for including him. Hours passed, the bay stayed busy. Alien after alien arrived. Ailments unknown met with assured hands. Renatus documented it all, the precision, the warm tones to soothe, the respect for each life form. A crew member approached, grinning wide. "Good timing, Renatus. Your bolt tightening saved that panel in rotation, made our lives easier." His grip was firm, warm. For the first time, Renatus felt pride swell within him. The recognition. Evening fell, the bay doors hissed closed, sealing the day's miracles. Alone in his quarters, Renatus reclined, datapad clutched close. He felt the station's subtle vibrations, comforting and constant. He smiled, eager for what was to come, no longer just an observer, but becoming part of their world. His reports would tell the tale, a chronicle of humanity's strength and resilience. The training. Day 6 on the station, Dr. Cole Renatus found himself in the training room with Commander Pierce. The commander gestured for Renatus to follow, their boots clanging on the metal floor toward the room. "Today, you'll see how we get ready for the worst case," Pierce said. They entered the room, and Renatus looked down from the observation deck. Below, the hangar buzzed with crew putting on gear fast, practicing drills. A loud alarm cut through the noise, and the crew snapped to position. Explosions shook the walls, flashes and smoke simulating an alien attack. Teams moved together, commands shot out, adjusting to each new wave. The preparation. Pierce watched silently from above, fingers flying over the controls, changing scenarios, pushing the crew. Renatus took notes feverishly. Their timing, strategy, and communication were disciplined and precise. This coordination was their edge. The last siren wailed, and the crew gathered, sweaty but ready. Pierce spoke, his voice strong. "You make me proud, but this isn't a game. We're preparing for what's coming." Nods rippled through them, the threat feeling real. Renatus approached Pierce after. "May I ask about the exercise?" Pierce turned to him, the hardness in his eyes softened. It went well, but it's just a shadow, Doctor. We train hard because the threat is real. I worry about the cost. Renatus paused, surprised by the admission. He noted it, vulnerability and leadership together. Back in his room, Renatus reviewed the day. The events replayed in his mind, not just exercises but a shared readiness, more than discipline, a collective pulse. He closed the pad, understanding that it was the preparation and bond that strengthened them. They faced the future together, not alone, but as one force. The resolve. The station hummed with resolve as Renatus drifted to sleep, knowing humanity's resolve was unbreakable. The battle. The alarm blared through the ship on day 7, red lights flashing as the crew raced to their battle stations. Renatus's heart pounded, the tension thick in the air. Commander Pierce stood firm on the command deck, his eyes tracking the enemy ships on the screens. All hands, battle stations. Pierce's voice was steady, a rock in the storm. Renatus took his place among the tactical advisors, the weight of responsibility heavy on his shoulders. The Xerian ships were closing in fast, their weapons ready. Renatus could see the resolve in the crew's eyes, the same resolve he had come to understand and respect. The defense. The battle began in a flash of light and sound, the ship shuddering under the impact of enemy fire. Renatus's hands flew over the controls, coordinating defenses and relaying information. The crew worked in perfect harmony, each move calculated, each action precise. Target their weapons systems, Pierce commanded, his voice cutting through the chaos. Renatus relayed the order, the ship's lasers slicing through the void to strike the enemy. Explosions lit up the screens as the Xerian ships took heavy damage, their formations breaking under the relentless assault. The counterattack. The tide of battle turned, the human ship pushing back with fierce determination. Renatus could see the strategy unfolding, the crew's training paying off in every move. They were more than a match for the Xerian invaders, their unity and resolve shining through. Incoming. A voice called out, the ship shaking violently as a torpedo struck. Renatus gripped the console, feeling the fear and adrenaline coursing through him. But there was no time for hesitation. The crew moved quickly, damage control teams rushing to contain the breach. The victory. The battle raged on, each moment a test of strength and will. Renatus watched as the Xerian ships began to retreat, their forces shattered. The human ship pursued, pressing the advantage, until the enemy was driven back, defeated. Cheers erupted on the command deck, the crew embracing, their faces alight with triumph. Renatus felt a deep sense of pride, knowing he had been part of something extraordinary. Pierce turned to him, a rare smile on his face. "Well done, Doctor. You've proven yourself today." Renatus nodded, his heart swelling with gratitude. He had come to study humanity, to understand their strength and resilience. And now he was part of their story, a story of courage and unity in the face of adversity. The aftermath. As the ship returned to the station, Renatus looked out at the stars, feeling a new sense of belonging. He had witnessed the best of humanity, their spirit unbroken, their resolve unyielding. And he knew that he would carry this experience with him, a testament to the power of unity and the strength of the human heart. The reflection. Back on the station, the battle's echoes still rang in Dr. Cole Renatus's mind. He found himself in a quiet corner of the observation deck, staring out into the vastness of space. The stars seemed different now, not just distant points of light, but symbols of hope and resilience. Commander Pierce joined him, standing silently for a moment before speaking. "You've seen us at our best and our worst, Renatus. What's your assessment?" Renatus took a deep breath, choosing his words carefully. "I came here expecting to find a race driven by primitive instincts. What I found instead was a complex and formidable species, capable of incredible unity and strength." Pierce nodded, his gaze never leaving the stars. "We fight because we have to, but we also fight for each other. That's what makes us strong. The realization. The words resonated with Renatus. He had documented every detail, from the heated debates to the intense training sessions, from the personal stories of survival to the collective celebration of victories. But it was the underlying sense of community and shared purpose that truly defined humanity's strength. Renatus turned to Pierce, his eyes reflecting a newfound understanding. I believe your greatest strength lies not just in your technology or strategies, but in your ability to come together, to support one another. That is what will see you through any challenge. Pierce smiled, a rare softness in his features. That's the essence of being human, Renatus. We stand together, no matter what. The decision. Renatus knew his report would be crucial. The Xerian Council needed to understand the full scope of humanity's capabilities. But more importantly, they needed to recognize the potential for peaceful coexistence, for mutual respect and cooperation. He spent the next few days compiling his findings, every detail meticulously recorded. His report was not just a list of observations, but a narrative that captured the spirit of humanity. It was a story of resilience, of courage, of unity in the face of adversity. The farewell. The day of departure arrived, and Renatus found himself at the airlock, his heart heavy with a mixture of emotions. The crew had gathered to see him off, their faces familiar and friendly. Walker approached, her eyes twinkling with mischief. "Don't be a stranger, Doc. Come back and visit us sometime." Renatus smiled, a genuine warmth spreading through him. "I will. And thank you, all of you, for showing me what it means to be human." Commander Pierce stepped forward, offering his hand. "Safe travels, Renatus. And remember, you always have friends here." Renatus shook his hand firmly, feeling the bond that had formed over the past days. "Thank you, Commander. I won't forget." The departure. As his ship left the station, Renatus watched the human vessel grow smaller, a symbol of hope and strength in the vastness of space. He knew his journey was far from over, but he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had come to study humanity, and he was leaving with a profound respect and admiration for them. Renatus turned his attention to the stars ahead, ready to share his findings with the Xerian Council. He knew the path to understanding and peace was a long one, but he was confident that humanity's story would inspire hope and cooperation. The report. Back on Xerion, Dr. Cole Renatus stood before the council, his report ready. The chamber was silent, filled with the weight of expectation. The council members, their eyes sharp and questioning, waited for his words. Renatus took a deep breath, beginning his presentation. He spoke of the technological advancements, the strategic prowess, and the resilience he had witnessed. But he also emphasized the unity, the sense of community, and the indomitable spirit that defined humanity. As he spoke, he saw the council members' expressions shift from skepticism to curiosity, then to a thoughtful understanding. They listened intently, absorbing the details, recognizing the strength of a species they had underestimated. The questions. When he finished, the head counselor leaned forward, her eyes piercing. "Dr. Renatus, your report is comprehensive. But tell us, do you believe humanity poses a threat to us?" Renatus paused, choosing his words carefully. Humanity is capable of great strength and resilience, but they are not inherently aggressive. Their actions are driven by a need to protect and to survive. If we approach them with respect and a willingness to cooperate, I believe we can find common ground and work together for a peaceful future. The council murmured among themselves, the weight of his words sinking in. The head counselor nodded slowly. "Your insights are valuable, Dr. Renatus. We will consider your recommendations carefully." The outcome. Renatus left the chamber, his heart lighter. He had done his part, sharing the truth about humanity, their strengths, and their potential for cooperation. He hoped the council would make the right decision, paving the way for a future of understanding and peace. As he walked through the halls of Xerion, he felt a sense of accomplishment. His journey had been more than just an assignment, it had been a transformative experience. He had come to understand and respect a species that, despite their differences, shared a common desire for peace and survival. Part 7. The future months passed, and the tensions between Earth and Xerion slowly began to ease. Diplomatic efforts were renewed, with both sides showing a willingness to understand and respect each other. Renatus's report had played a crucial role in bridging the gap, opening the door to dialogue and cooperation. Dr. Cole Renatus continued his work, now as a liaison between Xerion and Earth. He traveled frequently between the two worlds, fostering relationships, sharing knowledge, and building trust. He saw firsthand the positive changes, the gradual shift towards mutual respect and collaboration. The collaboration. Joint projects began, with scientists and engineers from both species working together on new technologies and advancements. Cultural exchanges flourished, with humans and Xerions learning from each other's traditions and values. The bond between the two worlds grew stronger, built on a foundation of understanding and shared goals. Renatus found himself at the center of this new era, his role evolving from observer to ambassador. He was proud of the progress, knowing that his initial journey had been the catalyst for these changes. He saw the potential for a bright future, where differences were celebrated and cooperation was the key to progress. The legacy. As the years passed, the story of Dr. Cole Renatus and his journey to Earth became a symbol of hope and unity. It was a reminder that even in the face of uncertainty and fear, understanding and respect could pave the way for a better future. His legacy lived on, inspiring future generations to seek common ground and work together for the greater good. Renatus looked back on his journey with gratitude, knowing that he had made a difference. He had come to understand humanity, and in doing so, had found a way to bridge the gap between two worlds. His story was a testament to the power of unity, resilience, and the shared desire for peace and progress. The future, the united effort. As collaborations between Earth and Xerion continued to flourish, the combined efforts began to yield remarkable results. Innovations in energy, medicine, and space exploration took center stage, showcasing the power of united effort. Scientists from both species worked side by side, blending their unique approaches to solve complex problems and achieve breakthroughs that were previously unimaginable. Renatus often found himself in the bustling labs and research centers, witnessing the spirit of cooperation firsthand. He was amazed by the creativity and determination that emerged when different perspectives converged. Projects that once seemed impossible were now becoming reality, driven by a shared vision of progress and discovery. The cultural exchange. The cultural exchange programs between Earth and Xerion also blossomed, enriching the lives of participants and fostering deeper connections. Schools and universities hosted exchange students, while artists and performers traveled between worlds, sharing their crafts and stories. Festivals and events celebrated the diversity and unity of the two civilizations, creating bonds that transcended borders. Renatus played a key role in these exchanges, often acting as a bridge between the different customs and traditions. He found joy in learning about human art and music, and equally enjoyed introducing Xerions to the rich cultural heritage of Earth. These exchanges not only brought the two species closer, but also highlighted the beauty of diversity. The new challenges. Despite the progress, new challenges inevitably arose. Political tensions, economic disparities, and social differences sometimes threatened to undermine the fragile alliance. However, the foundation of mutual respect and understanding laid by pioneers like Renatus helped navigate these challenges. Renatus often found himself mediating disputes, leveraging his deep understanding of both species to find common ground. His diplomatic skills were tested, but his commitment to peace and cooperation never wavered. He believed that every challenge was an opportunity to strengthen the bond between Earth and Xerion. The vision for the future. As he looked toward the future, Renatus envisioned a world where the alliance between Earth and Xerion would serve as a model for other civilizations. He dreamed of a galaxy where species worked together, pooling their knowledge and resources to create a harmonious and prosperous universe. To achieve this vision, Renatus dedicated himself to mentoring the next generation of leaders and diplomats. He shared his experiences and insights, hoping to inspire others to continue the work of building bridges and fostering unity. He emphasized the importance of empathy, understanding, and collaboration, qualities that had been crucial in his own journey. The personal journey. On a more personal level, Renatus reflected on how his journey had transformed him. He had started as a curious scientist, eager to study a new species, but he had become an advocate for unity and peace. His interactions with humans had changed his perspective, teaching him the value of resilience, community, and the power of hope. Renatus had formed lasting friendships and meaningful connections. He had witnessed the best of humanity and had been inspired by their spirit. These experiences had enriched his life and had given him a sense of purpose that went beyond his scientific endeavors. The legacy continues. As Renatus grew older, he took comfort in knowing that his work had laid the foundation for a brighter future. He saw young Xerians and humans embracing the values of cooperation and mutual respect, eager to build on the legacy he and others had created. He felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that his journey had made a lasting impact. In his final years, Renatus retired to a serene spot on Xerion, surrounded by nature. He spent his days writing, documenting his experiences, and reflecting on the incredible journey that had defined his life. His story became a beacon of hope, a testament to what could be achieved when different worlds came together with a shared vision. The enduring hope. Dr. Cole Renatus's journey had begun with a mission to understand humanity, but it had ended with a profound realization of the power of unity and cooperation. His story was a reminder that despite the vastness of space and the differences between species, there was always a common thread that connected all beings: the desire for peace, progress, and understanding. And so his legacy lived on, inspiring future generations to reach for the stars, not just in search of new discoveries, but in the pursuit of a harmonious and united galaxy.